call me Toastmaster Fridolin. It's no problem, guys. Okay, for some information, Empat Toastmasters based in Surabaya since 2010s, and Empat Toastmaster has generated many competent members, guys, both in public speaking, leadership, and even like Toastmaster Developers. It's humor, guys. In a few minutes we'll start our meeting, but before we start our meeting, I'd like to give you 4 meeting tips, guys. The first is please mute yourself when are you not talking. Second, please guys mute your phone. Okay. Third, use the chat box for personal or group messages. And the last, use the hand signal to give a questions, applause, or others, guys. Okay, that's 4 meeting tips from me, Toastmaster Fridolin. Hope you can enjoy this meeting, guys, because this is amazing club and this is amazing meeting. Okay, now let me to call upon our president, Toastmaster Janet Gloria. Toastmaster Janet, time is yours.
Hello, everyone. You meet with me again, though I've been speaking the past 15 minutes, I guess. Welcome to Empire Toastmasters Club. I hope you guys will enjoy your time here. And yes, shout out to all the guests today. Um, Earlier we had Evangeline from wait. Yeah, earlier we had Evangeline, and then we had another guest. I think they
Evangeline
changed.
from Naga City, Philippines.
Yes, from Naga City, Philippines. I heard that you got the info from my dad.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Welcome to the club. And then we also had another guest, but I think they changed their name. Oh no. But yes, welcome to all the guests here, and I hope you guys have a great time. And I hope you guys find all the sessions interesting and funny. And for the guests, later on, we will actually have a special session for you. It is called the Table Topic Session. So make sure to join in and practice your public speaking skills. This is a no judgment zone, so don't be scared and enjoy your time here. So before I start, again, I would like to share about what exactly Empire Toastmasters is and Toastmasters in general. So Empire Toastmasters is an English public speaking club based in Surabaya, Indonesia. And in this club, we hope to improve your English skills and also your public speaking skills so that you can speak better in front of people, since for some reason public speaking is the most feared compared to death. It is an actual fact. And well, here we are trying to curb that. Maybe you should be more afraid of death than public speaking. And what exactly is Toastmasters? That comes right after Empire Toastmasters Club. Well, Toastmasters Club is actually an international organization that is non-profit, and they are focusing on improving public speaking in general. So let's say if you are not really interested in learning English public speaking and you want to learn it in other languages, there are actually a lot of clubs for that. So in Indonesia, maybe for some people who want to improve their Indonesian public speaking skills, you can find Indonesian public speaking clubs under Toastmasters as well. And if you want to improve your Chinese, there are also Chinese clubs for that. So if you're interested in learning other languages and public speaking in that language, we also have that. And then here's the most interesting thing. If you join us as a member and then you complete a certain level or pathway, you can actually get an actual title that is renowned worldwide. So you have CC and all the other titles that you can get. And it is international. So it is an actual title, guys. So if you want to become a member, you can contact one of the excos and maybe they will be putting their names out in the chat and also their numbers, so you can text them on WhatsApp or Telegram or whatever that you use. And yes, that's all from me. Enjoy the ride, guys, and I'll be bringing back the control back to Tom.
Thank you so much for your opening Toastmaster Janet. Now we will have a meeting, and the theme for today is anyone can guess. Anyone can guess? Okay, Toastmaster Gusti already Like this one. Okay, please answer it. Toastmaster Gusti.
Yeah, Toastmaster Miftah, the theme for today. Okay, how to build a powerful team culture. Am I correct?
Okay, thank you so much. Anyone knows about what is the team culture itself? Anyone can guess?
Perhaps Toastmaster Siwin, after watching Squid Games, you have my
Okay,
inspiration.
Toastmaster Shiwin. Shiwsin. Toastmaster Shiwsin.
Team culture.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What is a team culture itself?
Itself, I think working together with our teammates, with team spirit and teamwork. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. And then anyone wants to give your explanation about what is team culture?
I think team culture is how do you interact with your team members, be it for the work and be it like for any kind of social events, because most of the time you are spending in the office with your team only. So how you are interacting with your team members, that is called as a kind of team culture. That is my opinion.
Thank you so much. Yes, that was great. Team culture can be defined in many ways, but it boils down and how your team members can feel and act when they are at work. The team culture itself is a set of norms and values that defines what behaviors are deemed positive or negative, what is accepted and what is considered unacceptable. What is the benefit of this team culture? Anyone can guess? Unmute yourself.
May I, Toastmaster Miftah?
Okay, great, Toastmaster Gusti.
One of the benefits is you reach the goal faster and more efficient.
Come again?
You can reach the goal more efficient and effective.
Yes. The benefit of strong team culture is simply you are happier at work, isn't it? Yes. And which means that if you have a strong team culture, it means that you can be a loyal person. You can be a productive person in your work. Is it? So with this one, I already tell you about our team for today's meeting. Now, without further ado, let us call our general evaluator, and I think that our GE is have another team culture. Please let me welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Natalie.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Miftah Huda. Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie, and it is my pleasure to be your general evaluator for tonight's meeting. And of course, just like what Toastmaster Miftah just mentioned, this is a team game, meaning I cannot do it by myself. So I have a team of members who will assist me to complete this duty, to evaluate this whole meeting proceeding from beginning until the end. So I would like to call my first team member, who is the timer, Toastmaster Fridolin, to briefly introduce himself and his role. So please welcome Toastmaster Fridolin.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Natalie. Guys, good evening. Welcome to Empire Toastmaster. Today I will be the timer, and my role as the timer is to keep time for all speakers to ensure that everyone speaks within their allotted time slot, guys. The green colors, wait, I will share to you. The green colors will appear on the screen when the speaker hits qualifying time, guys. And yellow color will appear and when the speaker hits the target time, and the red color will appear when the speaker has reached the end of their allotted time, guys. Okay, wait guys. For example, for 5 to 7 minutes, prepare speech. The green color will appear on the screen at the 5 minutes, guys. The yellow color and the 6 minutes and the red color at the 7 minutes. The speaker will also be granted a grace period of 30 seconds. For 4 to 6 minutes for icebreakers, green color will appear at the 4 minutes, yellow color at the 5 minutes, and red color at the 6 minutes, guys. For table topic speakers are for 1 to 2 minutes. The green color will appear at the first minute, yellow color at the 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red color at the second minutes, guys. The speaker will have a 30-second grace period after 2 minutes to wrap his or her speech, guys. Okay, that's some information from the timer. Back to you, GE. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fridolin, our timer. So if you can rename yourself Timer Fridolin, just to make it easier for everyone to pin you.
Okay, thank
so
you.
They won't, yes, thank you. So they won't forget to pay attention to time. And everyone who is speaking today, be it a prepared speech, stable topic speaker, and also evaluators, please don't forget to pin Toastmaster Fridolin. All right, next up on my team is the counter, who is Toastmasters Andrian Wu. So please welcome Toastmaster Andrian Wu.
Hi guys, my name is Andrian Wu. Thank you, G. A very good evening for all of us, fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests. My role as counter is to take notes and count unnecessary words and sounds such as so you know, like, well, or something of a sort. And a number of the times, the word of the day, which is expand or no, word of the day. I use it. Yeah, word of the day I use. I will present my report when called upon by the evaluator. Thank you. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andrian Wu. So if you notice, counter, does it sound pretty weird or unusual? I think in Toastmasters, we are the only community who actually assign a specific person to count your and The reason why, just like Toastmaster Andrian Wu has mentioned, is to help us identify our speaking crutches. And not only that, we also have another person on my team who will help you to improve your speaking skill and also language awareness. And we have our grammarian, who is Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. So please welcome Toastmaster Angela.
Thank you very much, Titin. I would like, no, it's Natalie.
Natalie, thank you, Angela.
I would like to tell you the word of the day, which is connect. The infinitive is to connect. Present tense, I connect, you connect, we connect, they connect, but he, she, or it connects. So remember the S in she connects, he connects, it connects. Past tense, connected. Present continuous, we are connecting. We are connecting up with other clubs around the world. And while we're on the subject of the letter S, may I remind you that we have one Toastmaster, but many Toastmasters. In the same way that I correctly heard you say one guy, but many guys, it's many Toastmasters and Toastmasters clubs and Toastmasters International. That's all for me now, but I'll be back later to tell you the lovely things I heard from you and a few oddities where I can make some suggestions for you to make some lovely improvements to everything you say. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela. See how she wonderfully connected with all of us just now by explaining the word of the day. She truly connected with us. And I'm trying to throw in as many connect as possible. Trying to,
Connections.
I'm trying to make connection with you all today. All right. All right. The last person on my team is our ballot counter, who is also an important role. And today our ballot counter is Toastmaster Alfia Anjarsari. So please welcome Toastmaster Alfia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Natalie. Hi, fellow Toastmaster and guests. My name is Alfie. As the ballot counter, I will determine, based on your votes, today's winner in each of the following categories: favorite prepared speaker, favorite table topic speaker, and favorite evaluator. You will be asked to vote after each segment of the meeting. I will send the link in the column chat, and then you can click the link and choose your favorite and then click submit. Guests are also welcome to vote. Okay, that's about my job as ballot counter. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alfia, for that wonderful explanation. Okay, I think we're ready to roll. I'll be back on the second half of the meeting with all of my team members to deliver the evaluation session. For now, I'll give the virtual stage back to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Miftah Huda.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. That was great. I hope, and we hope that everything that distinguished Toastmasters Natalie and her team will give a constructive feedback and to connect each other to become a good one in the near future. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. And now we will have 3 sessions. The first session is prepared speech session, and then for adding this, we will have an educational session and also humor master by Toastmaster Live. Okay, now the second session we will have a table topics session, and then the third session and the last part is individual evaluation that will led by distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. So without further ado, I will call we will have first session, prepared speech session. The first speakers comes to Toastmaster Nadia Afifa, that we will evaluate evaluated by Toastmaster Michael Iskandar. Toastmaster Michael Iskandar, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Iskandar. As my job, my duty in here is to evaluate Toastmasters Nadia. In this evening, Toastmaster Nadia is about to present her ideas about her icebreaker, the first presentation in the club. The purpose of it, to introduce herself, to connect herself to our club, Empire Toastmaster Club. The time is about 4 to 6 minutes. Without further ado, Toastmaster Nadia, the screen is yours.
Thank you, TM Michael. Am I audible? Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests. I'm so excited. Today I can present my first project as an icebreaker. I remember the first time I found out about Toastmaster when my son was asked by his teacher to take a part in speech competition in August 2021. As a mom, I wanted to support him, but I realized that I couldn't give him an example on how to deliver a great speech. So we searched on YouTube on how to deliver a speech in front of public, and we found Toastmaster by Change. Then we attended Toastmaster for the first time, the mission was only to observe, no more than that. But you see me here right now, I become a member of Empire Toastmaster. And I am very glad having new connection in this club. Let's leave that story. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever had a wish that then come true? I repeat it again. Have you ever had a wish that then come true? Please type 1 if you ever, and please type 2 if you never. Oh, okay. Okay, I think almost us ever had wish that then come true. Okay, so did I. I have a dream or wish that then come true. I want to tell you my little story. When I was a student, my parents never allowed me to stay away from them. And then I had to go to my campus very early and came home sometime at nighttime. I feel so tired. I feel like my parents give so many rules that constrain me at that time. Then when I feel in a bad time, I always write on my diary. I feel like, and then I make some wishes there. And when I read it again, I talk to myself what foolish wishes that. So if you want to know what is my wishes, that my stupid wish that I wanted to live far away from my family, because when I wrote on my diary, the thing that came up in my mind was, what should I do in my future? But now when I read it again, I just can smile and say what a selfish I am. I have 5 wish lists there. The first is I want to be a formal long life learner. I mean, I want to be a student along my life. I don't want to. I think if I have to be a worker, I think there is so many. If we have a dream, just script it, get it, and let universe make it real. And you will be surprised when it granted. It also reminds me to script only a good thing, because we never know if it would be granted or not. Okay, for the closing, I want to share a famous Henry Ford quote. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of meeting.
Okay, thank you so much for delivering your speech. I really agree that if you already have a passion on that, the universe will take it for granted. Thank you so much for Toastmaster Nadia. And now the second speaker goes to Toastmaster Luisa, who will evaluate it by Toastmaster Titin. Toastmaster Titin, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you,
Okay.
Toastmaster Mifta. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. This evening, Toastmaster Luisa is about to deliver her icebreaker speech from her Pathway Dynamic Leadership. And the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The duration of her speech is 4 until 6 minutes. And without further ado, please join me to welcome Toastmaster Luisa, one day or day one. One day or day one, Toastmaster Luisa.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Have any one of you ever shrink away from an honest challenge because you're afraid of other people's attention? I know I have. So there is this famous quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said that, do one thing every day that scares you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Louisa, and tonight I will be delivering my first icebreaker speech with title, One Day or Day One. It is about my Toastmaster journey and how did I end up here. So I'll begin with a story back in August 2021. I was so bored and I felt like I have done all the things I could possibly think of to kill my time. I've attended webinars. I've read plenty of books. I pick up new hobbies, binge watch Netflix, but all of these activities, it somehow felt so shallow. It's meaningless even. So I told myself that I wanted something more. I want to pursue something more meaningful. Then I did some self-reflection and I noticed that I've always had this weakness of public speaking. I can't seem to formulate my thoughts and words coherently or in a properly manner. So when I engage with other people, say 3 or more, my conversations tend to get messy. It's spiraling all over the place. And I feel like somehow I gotta do something about it. I mean, I've been postponing it for many occasions and nothing happened. So I tell myself, gotta do it this year. Otherwise, you're gonna regret never doing it. So after doing some legwork, I found out about Toastmasters and I attended several clubs for 2 months. I checked the vibes. I see whether it suits my personality or not. And I gave myself a deadline, 2 months, and you gotta pick one club that you're gonna be a part of. So by the end of September 2021, I already have one candidate in my head. But at the very last minute, I got a notification, an invite to Empire demo meeting. To be honest, I didn't have much of expectation. I figured I already have a candidate, but that's where the magic happened. Empire drew me somehow and I attended. I remember it was CPM Michael. He was delivering his educational speech about cooking technique. And it's somehow still echoing inside my head. It's like this blanching technique still stuck inside my head until today. And I check the vibes. I see the members. Everybody was so warm. There is something different about Empire. So after the session ended, right after that day, I decided this is the one. This is truly the one that I've been waiting for. Zero hesitation. And I registered as an Empire Toastmaster member. And to be honest, I felt so happy to be part of Empire and part of Toastmaster in general, because personally, I love to learn. And I do believe that I can learn from each and one of you. I believe that we all have a story to share, experience that will add value to our lives, and we can totally thrive together. So what I want to tell you about from this short but meaningful journey, that's you. Number one would be when it comes to harnessing your skill, especially public speaking skill, you gotta take actions and practice diligently. I mean, of course, you can read tons of books on that topic, watch TED Talks, or even watch the pageant show like Miss Universe if you want. But if you don't take the actions, it's all gonna stuck in here. Your knowledge will never be put into good use. That's what I learned for the past years. I have so many knowledge, but I didn't put it into practice enough. This is quote that I really like from Bruce Lee. He said, knowing is not enough, one must do. Willing is not enough, one must apply. So I totally agree with his word. It's all about taking actions. And number two, you don't have to wait to be perfect to start, but you have to start to be perfect. There is no better time than present. Your time is now. You either do it today or you don't. So I think that will be all. Thank you for listening.
I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Luisa, already share your thought. And then now we will now go to the third speaker. Third speaker say about this speech is about me. This speech is about you, Toastmaster Mifta. Yeah, but I don't know why. But I will call, without further ado, I will call Toastmaster Yosef to evaluate Toastmaster Abdul Quayum and give a perspective about Toastmaster Quayum. Toastmaster Yosef, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, our Mr. Tom, for tonight. Hello, everyone. My name is Yosef Nugraha. It's my first time here in Empire Toastmaster Club. I will evaluate Toastmaster Quayum speech. His pathway is presentation mastery, level 2, project 1, understanding your communication style. The purpose of this project is for Toastmaster Quayum to learn about different communication styles and identifies his primary style. And then the purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his styles on others. Without further ado, let us welcome Toastmaster Quayum. My way, Toastmaster Quayum, the screen is yours.
Am I audible? And am I invisible? Of course I'm not. So ladies and gentlemen, if I am invisible, you might not going to see me today. To be honest, in the first place, I would say, my communication style is a little bit dull. People always say like, Quayum, why can't you take things so serious? Quayum, why you always play around with me? I can't say anything about it because it's me, Quayum, and it's my way. So fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, in Toastmasters, they give me an opportunity to seek my communication style. So I go for it, I grab the chances. And at the end of the questionnaire, I found myself as initiating communicators. Yet here I am, still playful as always. There is one day that one of our friends that would be here today with us called me. Quayum, do you have a moment? I would like to call you. Okay, sure. Why not? We use Zoom for it. Then he tell his problem. He tell his thing in mind, thoughts in or an idea that he had. And I tell him, do you satisfy with what you have at the moment? Do you satisfy letting everything out? And he say, yes, Quayum. And I feel with your appear today, it makes me feel like confident with my answer. Well, dude, I'm not yet helping you. Listen me out. This is the things that I would like to you follow. And yes, that's how I communicate with people. That's when they have problems. It is you, Toastmasters Mita. And that's where he is in this story. And I have another friend that really need the things at the moment. Can you finish this for me by today? Quayum, I want you to do this assignment by this evening. Oh my goodness, this kind of people, no hi, no hello, want the things get done now. So what I do, I tell them, well, ladies, gentlemen, if you need it now, I might not be able to help you. But if you give me time, I promise you, I find someone who can help you. Yes, I still can't help them. That's Quayum. So at the end of the day, I think that maybe I am someone not really that initiating, but someone who give them an idea to do the things or the problems that they're dealing with. To be honest, I have my own problem too. And to whom am I going to tell them? Yes, my fellow Toastmasters, to another playful person like me. Because in the end of the day, we just want to have fun. And I quoted from our Toastmasters Yogesh. Why so serious? And with that, I think when people approaching me from today, from the past, and from the future, the thing will be the same. I am Quayum, the playful one, and I will help you to initiate your thoughts. Now looking at that, my fellow Toastmasters, I see that I have a lot of ideas. I see that I can do a lot of things. But until today, I am no one. I am not yet a speakers like our Toastmasters Natalie that win a lot of competition. International member of Toastmasters International that will know everywhere, all around the world. Yes, with this communication, understand me after this. Because it might be hard dealing with the people like me, make you happy as I can. You talk to me today. Back to the Toastmasters of the meeting, Toastmasters Mita.
Thank you so much for sharing your story for us. And yeah, I also have a problem. He a story or tell some problems that you have, you can contact Toastmaster Quayum also. Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Quayum. And now we will proceed to another speaker. Last but not least, our speakers for today's meeting is Toastmaster Janet Gloria, our Madam President for today's meeting, who will evaluate it by Toastmaster Gusti. Toastmaster Gusti, are you there? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Tom. Toastmaster Mifta. Very good evening for Toastmasters. I'm Gusti. So today, Toastmaster Janet will deliver a project from the Pathway Dynamic Leadership. And the project is about using the presentation software. The purpose are for the member to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance speech. And the second is for the member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. So, time given is 5 until 7 minutes. Unlame your slides, Toastmaster Janet. Toastmaster Janet, unlame your slides.
All right. Before I start, can everyone see my slides?
It's visible.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jaya Gloria, and today I'll be presenting about how to unlame your presentations. What do you think about an introduction? Sounds super boring, doesn't it? It doesn't attract any audience at all. A lot of people actually think the same thing that, oh my god, that the introduction is so overused. But eventually they do the same thing over and over and over again with the same intro. Not only that, but check out that slide. Bro, it's not even centered, no proper capitalization, and it's really just black and white. And now, in this prepared speech, I'd love to share with you all on how to avoid lame presentations, such as, the one in this slide, what I just did with the lame introduction, in your next prepared speech or even your table topics. So now, next slide. For some reason, a lot of good thing. Well, I guess a lot of things and a lot of theories or any other thing. This is seriously something bad to do. For some reason, though, people keep thinking that this is the best way to go, but it's not. What do you actually want your audience to remember or note down when all they see is just an image? And in this case, well, I'm only making them remember and note down this cute image of a girl presenting that this is the best way to go. And you can just not spend a lot of time on your slides. Make sure to remember that this method makes your audience not know what to exactly focus on or note down, or what they should remember the image. And well, the thing is, I'm now speaking to people who should know how to operate a laptop or some slide program, because it's really just an image and they'll just remember the image. And worst case scenario, the image is not really the main point and they just remember that useless image in their head and it just goes all over the place. So you might be thinking now, okay, no pictures? Then let's bombard them with text. No, that's also not what you should do. I've run into this so many times, and all it does is make me first sleepy, second bored, and it even makes me feel dizzy due to the overwhelming amount of text on screen. This is actually usually done by teachers and lecturers who aren't too tech savvy, so I kind of understand that they don't really know how to use it. And well, the thing is, I'm now speaking to people who should know how to operate a laptop or some slide program like a little bit better than some old like old people who aren't tech knowledgeable with technology and know the effects of these kinds of slides on you. Please don't do this. It has the same effect as info bombing, and your audience wouldn't get what they should focus on either. So next slide. So what does a socially acceptable slide look like? Well, it kind of looks like this. Any slide that has a good balance of images and text. For example, the one I'm currently showing right now is okay. There isn't too much text and there are enough images to show the audience in the slide. It doesn't give you a headache. It gets straight to the point and you have images to please your eyes, like that cute gift box over there with a lot of colors. However, use your slides correctly. There is another aspect about slides that also needs to be pointed out, actually, especially for most of the people who are always everywhere around town or even the world due to their work. And most people nowadays, they still use PowerPoint as their slide editor program, right? It is a classic and everyone uses it since, well, it's one of the first programs to do that. However, don't you feel like sometimes you have to bring your laptop everywhere with you due to your slides being on that single machine? So you have to carry it along with you. But in reality, we actually have a better software editor. Well, people use PowerPoint nowadays and they think it's like the most powerful one, but it's actually not. We have a cloud-based slide editor for you to just pull up on any of your smaller devices that are easier to bring around with you, like maybe your phone even, or your iPad or some other tablet. And actually, I've been using this one program for so long that I basically don't touch my PowerPoint anymore. And it saved me a lot of time as I can just work anywhere. And you can even invite your friends and even your coworkers to edit the slides with you. And it changes in real time. So whenever they type something, it will also change like slowly on your screen. And well, if you're wondering, what is this program actually? Boom! It's Google Slides. It's owned by Google, just like what the name suggests. So you can access Google Slides on like any browser as long as you have a Google account. And it goes everywhere with you as well. You just need to log in and there you are, all your slides there. And since it's always there with you, just can pull it up on the app or on the website and just start editing no matter where you are. But there's actually this one thing that people always say to me, like when I try to introduce to them what exactly is Google Slides. And they always ask me like, hey, it's web-based. Doesn't it mean that it's like not as powerful as PowerPoint? Because PowerPoint is like an actual program and it's by Microsoft and so on. Well, just because it's web-based, it doesn't mean that you're actually missing out on some features you guys are used to in PowerPoint. It still has animations, cool transition animations, and everything else you would usually need. And the best thing about it is that the interface of Google Slides is exactly the same, so it's very user-friendly for those of you who are already used to using PowerPoint. And well, it doesn't also take up any of your storage space at all because it's saved in Google servers and they basically have infinite storage over there. And you just need the space if you're actually going to download the slides that you made as maybe a PBTX or a PDF based on the requirements of your company or your school. So with this, I guess it'll make it easier for you to do anything. And if you're planning up to switch up from PowerPoint to Google Slides and have any questions, you can always hit me up online or WhatsApp or whatever. So basically, to wrap this all up, just make sure to not use a single picture to describe everything unless you really want your audience to focus on that image. Well, I guess, yeah, for graphs, it's okay. And second of all, don't use too much text as well, as it bombards the audience with way too much information. And make sure to be balanced with your text and images in your slides so that the audience can focus well with the text so they remember the points and also they remember the images so they don't have to imagine like too many things. And well, last but not least, make sure to use Google Slides if you need to work on slides everywhere you go, if you're a very, energetic person that needs to work everywhere, as it allows you to access your slides on all of your devices and keeps all the slides on Google server unless you actually really need to download it for submission reasons or so on. So back to Tom, guys.
Thank you so much. I didn't turn on my camera. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing it. And now I will call upon timer. Timer, is anyone is eligible to be voted or not?
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mifta. Okay, guys, for timer, for icebreaker, Nadia, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. For Loisa, 6 minutes, 20 seconds. For paper speakers, Quayum, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Janet Gloria, 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, guys, that result of the timer. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Mifta.
Okay, thank you so much, our timer. Now I will call upon Toastmaster Alifa to give a link for today's meeting. Who is the best tribal topic? Who is the best prepared speech speakers for today's meeting? And I will call Toastmaster Alifa. How can we cascade our foods to you? Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. So I will send the link in the column chat. I still unmute, sorry. So I have sent the link and you can click the link and then choose your favorite and then click submit.
That was great and such an easy way for that. So yeah, thank you so much. I will count down 1 minute of silence for us to what is that? For 1 minute of silence for us to cascade our vote. Okay, thank you so much. 1 minute of silence is up. I really hope that you already cascade your vote to build connections with the much love and much engaging speakers for today's meeting. Now, Toastmaster Fridolin, can we take a picture for today's meeting? Toastmaster Fridolin.
I can hear because my connection is really bad, guys.
Okay, how about Toastmaster Titin or our Madam President Toastmaster Janet?
Toastmaster. Okay, everyone, please turn on your camera so that we can see your expression. And now I would like to take the picture in the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold on, second page. 1, 2, 3. Done. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Pipin. I thought I'm unmute myself. Okay, now we will hear our edu speech for today is Toastmaster Fendi Satria. Okay, Mr. Fendi Satria is an entrepreneur. He is a CEO of Harvindo Perkasa, or well known as Harvest Goods, Indonesia's one-stop gift and stationery store since the year 1985. Wow. And Kado Kamu. Mr. Fendi believes strongly in driving every project with impact. And in just 4 years, he managed to turn the mismanaged firm with billions of rupees lost annually to a profitable business in 2021. Wow, that was great. Let us listen from Mr. Fendi Satria, already with us, the second son of Mr. Andri Wongso, Indonesia's #1 motivator. Now, without further ado, I will call upon Toastmaster Fendi Satria how to build a powerful team culture. How to build a powerful team culture, Mr. Fendi.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction. That was a wonderful introduction. Okay, so let me just share my screen first. Give me a second. Oh, okay. I'm really sorry. I think I need to leave for a minute. It says I have to restart the application. So give me a sec, yeah. All right. Is this good enough? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so hello everyone, good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank Toastmaster Titin for inviting me to this wonderful group. Such a positive and very inspiring group. And it's gonna be a few of my sharings within in English. So, and it's pretty short for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna can learn a thing or two between my sharings. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Vendi Satria. I studied in Bina Bangsa School in 2004 till 2008. I studied in Binus International since 2008 to 2013. Finished my university and current university. I studied digital design. And then I went back to Indonesia. I started a company focusing on videos and animations. It's called Bowen Creative. We focus on delivering creative contents for corporates and also startups from BCA, Macarizo, Panorama, and a few other companies. We are a community of based on mindfulness and loving kindness. It's a meditation group. I started it in 2019. And then later on, after a few years, having the video and animations background, I continue on my family business. It's under the brand Harvest. It's a gift and stationery business since 1985. Does everyone here knows Harvest, the greeting cards company? Hopefully everyone can be active within the chats, yeah, so I can have a look. And if I have any questions, if I ask any questions, please feel free to put a comment and all over in the text. Yeah, so it's not the cake. We're two completely different company. The cake actually started in much earlier. So, and I'm also an environmentalist. Currently, to this date, I've planted about 2,413 trees. Okay, so without further ado, so yeah, like any other kid, I actually started very young and very playful as a kid, but I was the kind of kid that used to daydream a lot, and my parents is particularly pretty worried about me growing up. And as everyone knows here, fellow Toastmasters, my father is a pretty inspirational figure in Indonesia. His name is Andrew Woso. He's #1 motivator in Indonesia, along with my mom on the left side. So this is my whole family. But growing up, I'm very, very grateful having a very supportive parents. And back then in 2009, particularly not a very favorable subject to study again, but you're very supportive of me towards the progress, and I'm very grateful of that. People within the same values and also cultures, and how you bring it up and put that sort of cultures company as well. So from the way I see it, is that families so members of the employees of our team. So how do we develop a great culture? So a little bit of history of the company. So the company actually started in 1985 by my dad. So back then the story was he used to write all these motivational quotes and he puts them on the wall. So you got this one huge wall where it's like there's a lot of motivational quotes written all over it. One day his friend came in and started copying his quotes. And then he started asking questions like, why did you write the quotes? And he said, yeah, because this is very inspirational. And I think this is something that I can, be motivated of. And so that's how the idea just brought in. And that's how he started Harvest with my mom. And then a couple of years, 3-5 years afterwards, Harvest grew to become one of the best gifting and motivational cards in Indonesia. It was not an easy task, obviously. My father used to, giving out and to these stores because greeting cards were not something huge back then, and nobody knows what greeting cards was back then. And yeah, we're now spread about 17 retail stores all in Indonesia, and currently we're #1 greeting card stores in Tokopedia and Shopee. Okay, so back then, actually, the part of a process where I actually entered in 2017 was not easy at all. Actually, the company was supposed to foreclose in 2017 when I come into the business. In mid 2017, I saw my mom actually crying in his room, and I asked her what happened, and he mentioned that the company is actually in a very, very deep situations, very, very troublesome situations, and the company in itself is at loss about 80 to 100 million per month, and this is what the warehouse looks like. It was a huge mess. The management was not in the best position, and but I think the thing about that moved me wanting to move from the video industries, moving on towards the retail and the family businesses, because it's not about the motivations of being sad closing down the company, but being sad because all these employees is going to be left out without a job. So I think it's such a noble and inspirational reasons to stay on within the company. And so after a couple of weeks or so, I decided to ask my mom whether I can join the business or not. And so that's when I started joining the company and kind of like focusing on the foundations of the company in itself. And I'll explain to you, everyone, fellow Toastmasters, 3 points about the importance of how can we grow a powerful team cultures. So actually, I really started from ground up. All these improvements and all that, I actually learned them from a couple of my friends. So I actually started joining an entrepreneurs club. It's called Entrepreneurs Organizations. I'm very grateful I've met them, and I've got to learn a lot about system and processes along the way. Like I mentioned before, I started from ground up. I went to Tanah Abang on my own. I bought a lot of kain-kain so I can process them, understanding from the business from end to end. So all the tasks that all my teams are doing is for me to actually learn them one by one, meticulously. And also did canvassing. If everyone is not aware of what canvassing means, is to actually manually and self-selling all your products to rural areas. So I did an 8 hours drive to Yogyakarta, to Solo, to Salatiga, to Semarang, all on my own, selling our products so that I can learn a little bit better about what the market is doing right at that moment. So it was not, again, it was not easy decisions. And also, I think something that people needs to learn as well is that the company that's already been 30 more years has already got a culture, and it's not easy to change one culture. Whereas when you make a startup, you actually get the privilege to create your culture on your own. So having to reshape the whole culture within working for 30 years with the same leader and then changing to my position, it was not easy at all, right? So the first point that I like to point out is leaders of the organizations need to be able to share the same vision and the same value. This is, I think, for me, is a pinnacle point. So everyone needs to learn the directions and how do we as a company can drive everyone towards the same directions. So the analogy is like when you're a leader of a boat, you need to tell everyone that we're going to the right directions, going to the same directions. If you tell people on the left side to actually row in a different directions, we would not go to the same directions that we want to go. So it's very, very important for us to let everyone know what's the visions and what's the missions of our company. So this is our purpose. We aim to make every moment in people's life worth celebrating. Actually, before I was an entrepreneur, I always thought vision mission was a complete bull. Beep. I never thought that vision mission was something that's, I think it should be just on the wall and people just look at it and it's something that's trivial. But I believe after being as entrepreneurs for more than 5 years, this is something that is very, very important and needs to be addressed to every single team member of the company. And the mission is by helping them share love, communicate, and connect with our products, obviously. So we have a few products in line. We have to-do list on the left side, top left side. We have greeting cards. We have wrapping papers. We have notes, journals, tote bags. And one of the ways, actually, this is one of the stories when we actually developed one of our products, which is a tote bag. When we create or we do everything in our company, we always go back to the purpose in itself. So short story of mine, when we actually discussing about a tote bag that we want to produce, I asked them questions about how can we make their moments worth celebrating with our tote bags. So after a long discussions, then we decided to put a very small tags inside the bag. So when you open up the bag, there's a tag that says, "Be happy always." It might be very, very simple, but when you think about it, if we don't ask the vision mission in itself, it wouldn't have happened. So it's a very thorough process, and it's very important to ask this question every time we want to do any sort of strategies in the futures. And vision mission also allows everyone to stay on the same boat. I think companies actually consist of teams. So for me, as a leader, I don't believe when people work in a company, they should work just for the money. And so every year, what we do within the vision mission as well, we want to make their lives worth celebrating as well by putting targets in their personal life, not just on the company's target. So every year, usually in the very first quarter of the year, I would talk one by one to every single team and ask them about what's their goal and top 3 goals for this year, and how can we as a company or me as a person can help you achieve that goal. So that's what we do every year. Okay. So this is also happens when I first mentioned about the company that's actually at lost about 80 to 100 million. I decided to have everyone being in the same building and have a team building. And my mom was asking about, are you insane? We're at loss at about 80 and 100 million. How can you decide to make a team building that has a lot of cost? I would assume. And we would go to a single place. This happened in Bogor actually, and it cost us about more than around 50 to 100 million for the cost. And I mentioned about this is actually very important for everyone to have the same alignment in the company. So yeah, as I mentioned before, this has to do with vision mission. Second of all, so this is actually my dad. He actually joined the team building as well. Yeah, second of all, related to vision and mission is the culture in itself. So how do we create a culture that's different with everyone else? This is something that I learned from a coach of mine in Entrepreneurs Organization. He mentioned about the culture being having to trigger an action. Okay, this is actually pretty simple, but if nobody talks about this, then it will be just a simple values that you write down on the wall. I give this as an example. So when you type down company values over in Google, you'll have all this list of values and cultures. Say loyalty, honesty, trust, ingenuity, accountability, and so on and so forth. We would go like about 50 to 100 different values for a company. But I think all companies in general, or organizations in general, if we look at some of the values over here, say accountability or responsibility, the big question is, which company that doesn't want their employees or their team to not be responsible or not be accountable? So it's a question that we have to ask ourselves. Is this value something that we want to apply? So that happened actually, this sentence actually hits me really hard, because I used to this is what I did before. So I wrote down company values and I find 5 or 6 values that I can put down on my wall. And I couldn't be more wrong, right? So and what happened is that I started to sit down and think about what are the values that I think is important to me. I think values and leaders needs to believe in the same thing, because if we as a leader do not show or do not believe or do not practice the values that we provide for the company, then it would be just writings on the wall. Okay, so after I sit down and think about and do a mind mapping of what I think I believe and what I value, I come up with this 5 cultures that has the actionable steps. So first and foremost, this is something that I share. It's not particularly good for everyone, but this is obviously works on my end in my company. So the first culture would be learn and make mistake. So we practice this very, very deeply. We always ask everyone to try and do things that's crazy and be innovative as possible, because we're an industry that's very, very driven out of innovation. So I encourage everyone to just, you know, do and try crazy things about whatever they want to do. Unless, I mean, it's not related to accounting, yeah, but we're talking about creative process. So probably I can share one story about learn and make mistakes. So before I actually write down the cultures here, I remember I had a team, one of my team member, who's very, very conservative in terms of taking risk. So she's one of my team that's been around for 4 to 5 years, and when I always try to ask things to her about taking risk, and this is specifically on putting ads on online platforms. When I asked her to do so, she told me that, you know what, the money that we used back then was not put into good use. So I think it's best for us to keep that money and put it somewhere else for an investment. So without me writing the culture down, I actually thought that team member was very valuable because she thinks about the risk management in terms of the company. But it was really tough talking to her. And it's because we don't have the same value. But it's not written down. It's sort of like an invisible values if we don't actually write it down. So when I put everything down on a single list, then I realized that, oh my God, it turns out that mine and her values are completely different. And so what I did is that I sit down and talk to her, and she decided to leave the company because it was not sort of favorable in terms of the things that we believe. Okay, so this is also something that I like to point out, is that I believe that values is more valuable than hard skill. So if you find someone that actually has the same values as you can shape that person to become better. But if this person is good but has different values than you, then it would hurt the whole company because you are allowing other people to disrupt or not follow the culture that you actually created. Does that make sense to everyone? Please do, everyone, if you want to have questions, please do write it in the comment sections. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened. And then one of my team members, I shift and put someone else in her position, and then suddenly our sales, not suddenly, by process, for about 2 years, we grow our digital platform for about 400%. And that's because we tried and do things, and by making mistakes in a very early process, we allow ourselves to make cost in a very efficient way. So you do things that's actually bad, but in a very lower cost because you found out that this thing doesn't work out in a very early stage. Secondly is over communicate. This is something that we do aggressively, especially during pandemic, during the work from home. I want to keep this culture of the company to be able to communicate things very, very aggressively. If over the text they didn't reply, after 2 or 3 hours later, they should call the person up and make sure that the communication is actually delivered well. Thirdly is celebrate small wins. We do make small goals, and we encourage rewards and praises in the group. So if a single team achieves something that's great, we would give them praises in the group. We would actually give them screenshots and tell everyone that, you know what, fantastic job that you do. And that's something that people reward, even though it's just a small thing, but people do really appreciate rewards and praises. So they feel the sort of accomplishments along the way, so they know that they're not just standing or walking in the same place. Yeah. Thirdly is Kaizen. Kaizen is something that we always do on a monthly to quarterly basis. So we always ask everyone, what should we stop? What should we start? And what are the things that we can do better from today on? This is something for me particularly pretty funny. Also part of a story. So we did this with the online team, and it was just a very simple problem, which is scissors. So back then, scissors was all over the place, right? When someone used scissors, and then someone else wanted to use that scissors, they would move that scissors someplace else, and that from one person actually finding that scissors in another place, that time gap actually was very bad, because it would take around 30 to even an hour to actually find that scissors, not just on the first floor. They would go to a different level just to find the scissors. So what happens is that as a solution, we would tie down the scissors to a single place. So people would actually need to go to that single place to cut down things. Such a simple solution, but it wouldn't have happened if we don't do and practice the culture in our company. Go extra miles means that we push ourselves further. I remember quoting Muhammad Ali mentioned about when an interviewer asked him about how many push-ups that you do, Muhammad Ali answers, I don't count. I count when it starts to hurt. So it's something that for me particularly is very empowering, and I always make sure everyone push their limits even further. Okay. Thirdly is particularly pretty simple. We do a regular quarterly culture checkup. So we do this. This actually happened last week, where we sit down with all the big members. We ask them to rate all these cultures that we have from 0 to 10, and then round them up and basically ask them, how can we improve the culture? And then they would form a smaller groups of 3 or 4 people, and then they would discuss how we can actually improve the cultures within the company. So it's not just on the top level that's actually thinking about the culture itself, but also asking everyone to improve and have the wholesome culture within the company. So this is our humble team. Yeah, it's a pretty short presentations. Actually, I have so much to share, but I have so little time. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone listening. So hopefully everyone can learn a thing or two. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for your perspective about this one. And now I will see the chat. Have you ever wait a minute. How do you maintain the gap generation? I mean, when you have so many workers who have different age, like X and Z generations, how to build them as a powerful team?
Okay, I think what's important again is the objective, the objective and the values, because when a part of the team is not able to follow up with the technologies and the implementations of the new management, it's very hard for us to progress. And that's what's happening with most of our teams. That's actually was like years ago. Because when I lead the team, we implement a lot of technologies in the company, and it's sort of like it automatically happens that they cannot keep up with the technologies, and they decide to quit within the company, because practically in our industries, like I mentioned before, we prioritize on innovations. And I can safely say now around 95% of our team is actually under 30 years old. So it's not that tough now. It's not that something that I decided on my own, because it's not so much on the subjective side, because we want to believe as a company how to strive things objectively. Does that answer?
Yeah. Is that answer your question, Toastmaster Nadia?
Yes, wonderful answer. Thank you for inspiring.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Nadia. And now from Toastmaster Ilyas, how to measure the effectiveness of reward and punishment for building a powerful team?
Oh, interesting. That's such an interesting question. I think we never do punishments in our team. I would talk to them one by one. I think this is in terms of if they do something that's not actually along with the objectives, I would sit down and talk to them. But the problem about effectiveness of rewards and punishment is that we don't deliver things, we don't communicate what we think about the objective objectively. So there are two things about objective and subjective, right? So there's two answers to answer this question. Yeah, the first thing is about delivering the right communications. So what happens in our company, when this is something that I always encourage in the company, when something bad happens, say for instance, if your marketing team didn't actually deliver, or probably comes late every now and then, but so when you put 8:30 as your timetable for you to come, but they always come late, I would sit down and have a talk with them, right? So there are 4 steps for you to communicate that. Firstly, what I do is I always tell things objectively. So I tell them, hey, A, let's say A, yeah. Hey, A, I noticed that you've been going late to the office this past few days. So there are no emotions that's actually involved. What I did was actually delivering the fact that this part of what this team of mine is coming late, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, is the part when I share how I feel about what they did. So what I did is that I feel disappointed, I feel sad because of what you did. And then thirdly, asking about what I want to do. And then the fourth, what I want for them to do. Say, for instance, please come earlier so you can actually respect and everyone's time in the company, and also respects our culture in the company. And lastly is also asking them about any other resources, or they actually do it if I ask that for them, because it's not just for them, it's also for the whole company. Yeah, that's hopefully that answers the question.
Thank you so much. Is it answer your question, Toastmaster Ilyas? Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Elias. Give you a thumbs up. And now, last but not least, Toastmaster Gusti asks about this one. Have you ever doubted your decision or your values of yourself in the journey of your process?
I always tell this to everyone that I meet. I never regret anything that I do. It's because everything that we do is based on our full consciousness and full wisdom. Because when we do something that's actually bad, then we grow to someone actually better. Because in the process, when I started that the previous values that I wrote down, that was not the best at all. I always tell them that when we changed this value, I was this person who didn't know about how to build the right culture. So when I shifted to something that's actually better, it's something that people can actually learn as well. So for whatever reasons, it's not just on the culture in itself, also executions, also strategy, also how do I deliver things with my team. And as we grow along, it's something that we need as a team and also as a person to do, is for us to encourage each one another to make mistakes, because only with mistakes we can learn and grow to become a better person.
Okay, thank you so much. Is it answer your question, Toastmaster Gusti?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for confirming. And now, last question: how to build a powerful team in a NGO?
Okay, interesting. I don't think I would be a suitable person to ask. I haven't got an NGO, even though I want to create one. But I believe in driving things objectively again. So NGO has usually the problem with the issues or the situations with NGO, or I would say what's it called with a company that's doing causes as well, social enterprise. Yeah, with social NGO and social enterprise is that they have two different objectives. One is the objective of finding the money to survive and to maintain the foundation and the organization in itself. Secondly is driving the cause. So for NGOs and for social enterprise, two of these objectives would be very difficult for people to drive. But that's when leadership comes to talk about target and goals for different sets of times. Say, for instance, if you want to drive people for the whole year, we as a leader needs to address which goal should be achieved on both sides. Let's say, for instance, if the NGO drives on environmental costs, how many trees should we plant this year, or how many carbon monoxide should we decrease within the next year, and then for profitability, how much money we need to drive, how much cost we need to reduce, what's the bottom line should we achieve for the next year. So that needs to be addressed again for the vision and mission to be delivered. So everyone needs to understand the goals and targets within the year.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much to Toastmaster Fendi. Now, is there answer your question, Toastmaster Elias? Okay, thumbs up is already great. Thank you so much for your preparation for this today's meeting, Toastmaster Fendi. For today's meeting, we have a certificate for you. Please, our SAA can see the can share the certificate.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mifta. Okay. This is for you, Pak Fendi. Thank you.
Fantastic, splendid. Thank you so much.
Okay, let me to take a picture.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Okay, already?
Okay, ready? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Toastmaster Fendi already shared about how to build a powerful team culture for today's meeting. Thank you so much. And now we will move to our session for today's meeting is humor session. Humor master for today's meeting is Toastmaster Lai. Toastmaster Lai is a Malaysian fitness coach, hybrid bodybuilder, and power lifter. He is keen Toastmasters. So, without further ado, please let us welcome our humor master for today's meeting is Toastmaster Lai Kufuk. Toastmaster Lai Kufuk, the screen
Thank you,
is yours.
Toastmaster meeting, Miftah. And I would like to say thank you to our Madam President Janet Gloria for flying me in via 15 Airlines. But sadly, our Elios and Michael forget to fetch me in the airport tonight. So I had to take a taxi to here, and I'm still in my flight. But let me check out first. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Last week, I was having dinner with a group of 4 friends. My friend age group is friends from 20 up to the 70 years old guy, men. And when all this group of men gather together, men usually talk about 3 things: career, money, and women. So during the pandemic, all of them have discussed about the money and career, how it goes. One thing they discussed suddenly on that night, which is women. And they discuss what kind of men a woman would like at different age of group. And here is what they told me. At 16 years, at a woman, when they reach 16 years old, they prefer a handsome man. And when they reach 26 years old, they prefer a good man. And when they reach 36 years old, they prefer a dependable and a capable man. And when they reach 46 years old, they like the best of the best man among men. I was just like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just a single guy there. But I tell them one thing. For men, we are the most loyal one. Do you know why? Because until the day we die, we prefer the young and beautiful woman out there. Don't you all agree with me? And when the dinner is served and eaten all our meals, and they're all busy texting their spouse and wife. And I'm the only one there taking my phone, scrolling through Facebook posts, looking at my friend posts about what their matter is. Sad, isn't it? And this wicked idea came into my mind. I told them to text their spouse and wife these 3 words: I love you, to see what their response was. Are you eager to hear? For the 20-year-old guy, his wife texted him back, I love you too. So sweet, isn't it? How about the 30 to 70 years old? The 30 get a response, are you drunk? Do you need me to fetch you? The 40-year-olds get a response, are you feeling okay? Are you sick? Do you need me to get you to the hospital? Call a Grab, Gojek to get you to the hospital now? And the 50-year-olds get a response that this is, we say, sad. I'm pretty sure you texted the wrong person. I'm pretty sure you are not texting me, your wife. The 60-year-olds get a response from his wife saying this. Are you too free? There is nothing to do. You're texting me. I love you during this hour. I want to sleep. Come back home and sleep. And sadly, the 70-year-old guy didn't get any response. For information, his wife is still alive. And he get one phone call from his son. His son called him, "Dad, Mom told you are gonna die soon." "What? Why your mom said that?" "Because you told Mom, Dad, you are gonna not telling her I love you until the day you die. So Mom also asked me, where did you put your will? Have you written it down?" And the 7-year-old guy agreed and close his phone, take a taxi and go back to his home. And that's why always remember to tell your spouse that I love you before you get a response like them. And I wanted to hand back the session to our Tom and Jerry of the session, Mr. Huda.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. That was such great and humor things. Okay, and now I will call upon Toastmaster Amelia Fabriani for our second session for today's meeting is table topics session. Table topic session will led by Toastmaster Amelia Fabriani. Are you ready?
Yes.
See you. Open your camera. Screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Miftah. Now it's one of the most awaited session. I hope you're still excited. This session can be followed by members, all members can join and also the guests as well. So if you want to join, it's an impromptu session, only 1 to 2 minutes. I will present some questions that you can answer in 1 to 2 minutes. Share your opinions regarding our topic today about how to build a powerful team culture. For the first speaker, I would like to choose from the Empire member itself. And can I probably have Ilios to be the first speaker and give examples for other members or guests that want to join?
Okay.
All right, Ilios, we have 5 questions or quotes. Remember the word of the day is connection or to connect. Which number that you want to take?
I love a lot of connection, so 5.
Okay, topic 5. The questions for you is, it's a quotes, not questions. It is not the team with the best players that win, but players with the best team that win. Again, it is not the team with the best players that win, but players with the best team that win. You have 1 to 2 minutes. Don't forget to pin the timer. Are you ready, Toastmaster Ilios?
I'm looking for the timer. The MP did it. Okay. I am ready.
The floor is yours.
Are you a team player? Please ask this question to yourself. And I'm not asking this for me, because definitely we are a player. But if you in a good team, definitely you will win any competition, any challenge that will make sure you have a greater measure. Cup for after 19 years and now we won. What is the key? What is the secret? It is the connection between the members, not only the players, and to connect this, they need a great coach also. So are you a team player? Are you a player itself? Or are you a coach? Well, for me, I would like to be anything that they need me to fill in that spot. Why? Because you yourself can be a coach. You yourself can be a player. And you yourself can be a good team, because we work in a team. When we work in a team, a win is guaranteed. And to connect with the audience, the one that will support you, you should have a better dedication, spirit, and enthusiasm
So are you ready to connect with me? Send me a message on Instagram. Ilios Theophilus G. Back to you, TTM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilios. Yeah, you can be the player, you can be the team player or the coach, but do not be a woman's players, okay? No. Okay, the next probably from the guest, or I got one name, Kevin here. Yes, I believe that actually even each of us has our own strength, but together as a team, it's not only double the strength, but it's make it even exponentially greater. Okay, Kevin, we have number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'll take 2.
Topic number 2 for you. In your opinion, what practices that make a strong team? You probably can get some ideas from our previous edu session as well, or you probably have your own experience as a leader. What practices that can make a strong team? Are you ready, Toastmaster Kevin?
What practices make a strong team? Let me just put the timer on first.
Yeah, please pin the timer.
I can't. It seems like I can't pin the timer.
Probably you can. Yeah.
I put it in gallery mode. Okay, I'll start now. What makes a strong team? If you want a strong team, I have 3 things for you: squat, push, and pull. Do this every day and you will be strong. And if you want to be stronger, then do it with weights. Barbell. Okay, what comes out of the barbell? Anyway, if you need strength, that's what you need to do. But if you need communication skills, then to improve, you have to talk every day to your teammates. Talk to them about simple things like, I will give you an example, but I don't even have that skill yet. But here's some examples that I think you should talk about. What kind of movies you like? Really? Movies? Obviously Avengers. This is harder than I thought. But communication is just important, even if it's awkward, even if you don't know what to say, even if you're talking to a baby and people look at you crazy, and then you suddenly run away because I think one of them is calling the police. Even if that happening, that will at least help you improve your communication skill a bit. So whether it's strength, whether you want to improve your team by doing exercise or communication, those things can give you confidence. And once you have confidence that you know what you're doing, then you will have confidence in yourself and your team. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for sharing your thoughts about it. Yes, that's why in Toastmaster we learn leadership and communication. I think communication and leadership is sister skills. You cannot really separate them. You cannot lead without any communication skill. And thank you for sharing that. Confidence can lead us to a competence. Another name I have, Evangeline. Is it how to spell your name? Or Eva? I'll call you Eva.
Or you just call me Angel.
Oh, Angel. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We have number 1, 3, and 4. Angel.
From the ice breaking before, there are day 1 or 1 day, so I will choose number 1.
Number 1. Questions for you. In your opinion, which one is more important? People first culture or productivity first culture? In your opinion, which one is more important? People first culture or productivity first culture? Can you see the timer?
No.
Timer is waving his hand.
Okay. I'm sorry, I use my handphone, not a laptop.
Yeah, just pin the timer so you can see. Okay, we spotlight him already. Can you see?
I have seen it. I've seen it.
1 to 2 minutes.
Okay. So actually about what is the more productive is I think it's about the people. Let me see again the screen before. May I see it? Or
I'll read it for you. In your opinion,
Yeah.
which one is more important? People first culture or
Okay.
productivity first culture?
Okay. We are talking about the team culture. So in my opinion, the most important is the people culture, because if we had the teamwork and we, as the Mr. Fendi said before, value is more important than hard skill. In my experience before in the organisasi siswa intrasekolah, I learned that if we push ourselves to just reaching the target without reaching the people, it will be a failure. And then we can achieve the goal together. And then it seems that people is more important. Building a team is more important than building the, the process is more important than the result. Yeah, that's from me. Okay, I'm sorry if I...
Can you share again? What is probably your experience during your organization time?
In my organization time is, because I'm still a teenager in that time, I'm just think that the most important is the result. I didn't think about the process, and then I just tell to my team that we should do this with the best result, and then I don't think that I have developed a team culture in that time, and then the teamwork is a little bit messy on my experience before when I'm still a teenager.
Okay, great. Amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, this is my first time, so I'm a little bit nervous.
Awesome. You did awesome. You did well. Great. Thank you so much for sharing. Even it's in your teenager's life, but your lessons, it's really something that we can learn. Even I tell you, even adult right now, a lot of people still make the same mistakes, that focus on the result instead of the process. Because sometimes the result is tangible, can really see it, you can really measure it. Meanwhile, the process, the people itself is not really can be seen. But if we take care of the people, the result will follow. Thank you for sharing, Angel. One more name, Sway Sin, Toastmaster Sway Sin. Is that how to pronounce your name?
Yes, Shuixing. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. Sounds so well when you say it by yourself. We have number 3 and number 4.
4, please.
Number 4.
Yeah, 4.
It's a quote. The culture of any organization is shaped by the worst behavior the leader is willing to tolerate. The culture of any organization is shaped by the worst behavior the leader is willing to tolerate. You want me to explain or got the ideas already?
I'm thinking that's a tough question.
It is. Just a hint, usually we talk about we intentionally build the culture, but there's another side of building a culture itself. When you let something worse behavior or bad behavior happen, it's actually also built a culture. So that's the idea. Have you been the timer?
Yes, I see. Okay.
Time is yours.
The worst behavior, of course, in an organization, we might see some worst behaviors of our leaders. Like whenever you make a programs or whenever you you do some things, you might be rejected by your leader. At that time, you might be thinking like, I'm so eager, I'm so willing to do it. I have like lots of I put lots of efforts on this project or program, but like beside when we see from our leader side, okay, then you might be rejected by your own idea or your own efforts, because they think like, okay, it is not better, it's not suitable, it's not like, it's not great great enough with our team culture. So whenever we make some things, like, we have to think, okay, sometimes we can be said no. At that time we have to think about, okay, so in our life we can be rejected so many times. Am I right? So we might see the worst leaders in our organizations, but it's also the culture to build a better team and a better organization. So yes, for me, it's like whenever we see the worst leaders or the worst team, there are so many things we can learn. Although we might be rejected, we can learn how to say no other people. When other people say no to you, how to accept it, and how to move forward, and how to do the better in the future, and how to get the lesson. So with that, back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmasters Wei Sim, for sharing your opinion and your thoughts about it. Yes, even in the worst condition itself, we can actually choose how we can respond and learn through those conditions. Okay, we already have 4 table topic speakers. Just to remind you, we have Toastmaster Ilios, we have Kevin, we have Angel, and we also have Toastmaster Sway Sin. Can also vote later on for them after the timer report. So I will return the control back to our Tom, Toastmaster Miftah.
Thank you so much for lead this session. Thank you so much. Interesting. You connect with people. And for this one, I will share timer. Timer, can we get a report? Who is eligible to be voted for much love and much engaging table topics speakers? Screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Miftah. Okay, guys, I'd like to share to you the result of the timer table topics. Toastmaster Elias, 2 minutes and seconds. Toastmaster Kevin, 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Angel, 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Swissin, 1 minute 55 seconds. Okay, back to you, Tom. That's the result of timer best table topic speakers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your timings report. Means that all eligible to be voted. Now, Toastmaster Alifa, please share us about the link.
Okay, we'll send the link in the column chat.
Okay, thank you so much. Now we will have 1 minute of silence for voting the much loved and much engaging table topic speaker. 1 minute of silence starts now. Okay, thank you so much. 1 minute is up. Now we will go and we will move to another session, which is the last session. The last session will be led by Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. Distinguished Toastmaster Natalie, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Miftah, for leading the earlier session wonderfully as Toastmaster of the meeting. Just want to confirm one thing, if we're gonna skip the Toastmaster testimonial or we go straight to the evaluation section.
I think it's a very short testimony. It's only 3 minutes.
Okay, so I would like to introduce Toastmaster member Toastmaster Johnson Lim, who will be delivering his testimonial of his experience as a Toastmaster member. So please welcome Toastmaster Johnson Lim.
Hello. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Oh, okay. Wow, this is a lot of energy, very vibrant. It's a long time I haven't been to any Toastmasters. So this is a far improvement from my time during those days at the Empire. So anyway, thank you very much, Pak Alan, Toastmasters, sorry, DTM, Pak Alan, for inviting me to speak. What have I learned? How have I improved at Toastmasters? You see, I was always very conscious with what I say, especially in front of people. Yeah, but this Toastmasters gave me the opportunity to build a lot of confidence. Yeah, I find out that at the end of the day, it's not about we are unable to speak, but rather we are very conscious about what we're going to say wrongly in front of a crowd. So the Toastmasters provide me the platform for me to really try it out and fail and feel the embarrassment and shame or whatever it is. And at the end, there is nothing more than our inner thoughts to tell us it's very shameful, but from the response of the Toastmasters members and all the guests, we are not that shameful actually. It's just that we thought we said the wrong thing. So over the period of time, I always take the opportunity to learn to fail, to learn to accept, even I say the wrong thing, it's okay. Nobody's going to laugh at me. So over a long period of time, after delivering a lot of speeches at the Toastmasters, to complete at the time my program, which is not halfway at the time, I finally discovered that who cares? Say what is on our mind. Yeah. Take it as I'm meeting all of you in person. Take it as all of you are my friends. Whatever I say wrongly, I think is perfectly all right. So because of that, I have built my confidence. And I believe that the younger you learn this, the better you are. You have a lot of opportunity up front. Yeah, in any place, in every personal life, in every professional life, you got to able to communicate your thoughts. You got to able to communicate your ideas, right? There's no point having all the ideas, being smart in everything, but not able to communicate, let alone convince others. So Toastmaster has been a journey of building that confidence. And I assure you, if you go along this path, you will definitely improve your personal life. It will also improve your professional life. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I believe that why leaders, you learn leadership from Toastmaster because you always need to communicate all the time. Yeah, whether it's ideas, whether it's motivating people, or whether it is about expressing opinion. Yeah, this is the right place to learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Johnson Lim, for sharing your testimonial to all of us. Hopefully it can inspire the members to keep going on their Toastmaster journey, as well as some prospective guests to consider Toastmaster. As some of us already know, because we are Toastmaster members, Toastmaster tagline is where leaders are made. So not where communicators are made, but where leaders are made. Because if we are a leader, we can communicate well, and just like what Mr. Fandi just shared, we can also build our team and our team culture. Okay, let's go on to the last session of tonight's meeting, the evaluation session. I will start on with the prepared speech evaluators, continued on with the technical role players
who are part of my team. So first up, I would like to invite the first evaluator for our first prepared speech speaker. I would like to invite Toastmaster Michael Iskandar, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Nadia's icebreaker speech. So please welcome Toastmaster Michael.
Thank you, GE. Toastmaster Nadia, I like the way that you check your audio. And also, I love the topic that you choose, dream come true. Well, at least the first one, as your dream come true, may happen already. Welcome to Empire Toastmasters. That's one of the things. There are some area that you're good at and also some area that you might want to improve. I have two things that you might want to improve. The first one, the time management. In my opinion, don't wait for too long for your questions. It may delivering as a time constraints also affecting that one. So you have no more time discussing at your body of your presentation. The second one is you may want to practice in front of the mirror, not to pressure yourself, but because you want to see yourself while practicing your facial expression. I like the way that you do with your facial expression. However, it needs more clarity in your vocal variety, because some of the words is unclear. Well, basically because of the signal problem is one thing, and the second thing is your pronunciation. So make sure your vocal variety is clear enough for everyone. Get more comfortable because this is your first time, so be with it. And please more practice while you do more presentation, so you have more comfortable delivering it with your presentation. The second one, the gesture. Gesture might be needed, but unfortunately, you might sit too close to the camera of your computer. So I can see only just a tiny bit of like this one. But what about if you do it like this one? Remember to season your presentation and practice more to expand your skills and communicating with us and connecting us with others also. Back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michael, for that detailed evaluation. I would like to then move on to our second evaluator, who is Toastmaster Titin, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Luisa's icebreaker. So please welcome Toastmaster Titin.
Thank you, GE, DTM Natalie. Fellow Toastmasters, who among you still remember Toastmaster Luisa's quote that she presented to us previously? Would you care to type it on the chat box? She presented a number of quotes to us. One quote that attracted my attention very much: there is something different about Empire Toastmasters Club. Warm welcome to Empire Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Luisa. Congratulations for completing your icebreaker speech. It was delivered very fluently and comfortably. It was so wonderful that nobody would believe that it was your first speech ever. And now we know you better, Toastmaster Luisa. You introduce yourself to us by inserting a strong message. Do one thing that scares you every day, by Eleanor Roosevelt. Toastmaster Luisa, if I may analogize your speech as white wine as the ones shown on my virtual background, your speech is rich. It is rich in wonderful and strong message. And no matter what the wine is, it is best served in good times.
Look at this.
So when is the good time? It is none other than the time when you decided to join Toastmasters International. Toastmaster Luisa, I would like to be part of your success in public speaking skill. So I have two suggestions that you might want to consider. First, you may want to maintain consistent eye contact to ensure audience engagement and connection with you. And you may want to provide one prop so that your speech can be more remembered by the audience for a long time, especially those visual learners, such as you may want to provide a piece of cardboard with the number 1 on it, which matches the title and the theme of your speech. To conclude, you have delivered a very smooth icebreaker speech, and to throw you a challenge, you might want to maintain consistent eye contact and provide a prop for your speech. Fellow Toastmasters, wine, if consumed in appropriate amount, is believed to prolong one's longevity of life. So Toastmaster Luisa, we hope you enjoy your Toastmasters journey with us and hope you have a long journey in Toastmasters. Overall, it was a great icebreaker speech, and for that, I would like to raise my glass and cheers to many more great speeches that you will successfully deliver in the future. Thank you, and back to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Teten. You can send me some wines also. I would love to have. All right, let's go on to our third speech evaluator. It will be Toastmaster Yosef Nugraha, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Abdul Quayum's speech. So please welcome Toastmaster Yosef.
Thank you, Madam GE, DTM Natalie. Let me pin my timer first. Okay, yeah. Congratulations, Toastmaster Quayum. You already achieved and passed this project, which is understanding your communication style. What is excellent from your speech is I am very like that you using your body language, and then you are standing. Not many of us in this virtual meeting in a standing position, but you are trying to speak in the standing position and then using your body language. And then I'm like your vocal variety for every situation that you are sharing with us. And then in your speech, you try to share your communication style with your personal experience, not just sharing what type of communication that you are very like it. Sorry, it's like your way to explain your communication style, like your speech title. And then you are not trying to compare your communication style with others, which is I very like, but you are trying to look back on your personal experience, how your personal communication style affecting and your relationship with others. For the things that you want to work on, actually it's kind of hard for me because you are so good in delivering this speech. But for some minor things that I want to suggest to you, maybe you can try to have a smaller body language, because at some point I see that you have a big body language, like you are not showing your all of your hands because it is an online meeting, so it's cut through your screen length, so I cannot see all of your body language. And then you can use more pauses in your speech, because just a little, you already good in using your pauses, but maybe if you are using more pauses in the middle of your speech, it will be good to let your audience breathe a little while to hear more of your speech. And then to challenge yourself more, I think you can engage more with your audience, maybe in the beginning of your speech rather than just quoting some phrases. You can try to ask to your audience to gather their attention in your speech, and then try to end your speech with question to them, or maybe some phrases that engage their opinion. I think that's all for me. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yosef, for that thorough evaluation. Well done. Let's move on to our fourth speech evaluator. We have a long list of evaluators tonight, who is Toastmaster Tias Gusti Harta, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Janet Gloria. So please welcome Toastmaster Gusti.
Okay, thank you, Madam GE, Toastmaster Natalie. Very good evening for Toastmasters. How are you today? So first, I'd like to ask you to give round of applause to Toastmaster Janet. Yeah. Wow, Toastmaster Janet, unlame your slides. What I like from your speech is actually the vibes, the positivity that you bring, the enthusiasm, and also the energy. I also like the way you actually put the title with the president, hey, hey, hey. It's actually sort of funny and kind of like a very positive and cheerful signal for your presentation, for your speech. Toastmaster Janet, you actually have already a clear clarity of spoken and really good to, making some pauses at your speech and also elaborating the ideas. You're also creating the comparison between the really old style of the delivering the presentation and the new style. What I do like also from your speech is actually the way you actually engage with the audience. Somehow you're asking the questions to the audience, so the audience, somehow take a time to think about it. Like when you actually asking about what if I put a picture of a girl in the presentation. So somehow it makes us, thinking about it. But I think there are some room for improvement for your speech to become more better. The first is the way actually you put the focus or the objective of your speech. I mean, like in the title, you stated unlame your slides. At the beginning, you actually talk about the comparison between the not really good visual aids or presentation to the good or the proper way. But somehow, in the body into the conclusion, you're actually pointing out the program named Google Slides. So it's kind of like, a little bit confusing, which the message that you would like to convey to the audience, whether how to use the visualize properly or how if we use the Google Slides. It's kind of the thing that you need to think about it. And the second is, although you use the pauses when you're going to break down the sum of your speeches, but actually you can, add more some vocal varieties. You can emphasize at some of your sentences or texts. Example, when you're telling it, it will be good, or the text, the full of the text, the slides of it, you can say like, see, what do you think about it? So like the intonation and the vocal variety give like the dynamics of your speech. It's going to be really more engaging for your speech. And I think that's all from me. You actually have a really good energy as a president also of this club, and also the fresh ideas and the enthusiasm. And you need to work on about the objective and the vocabulary. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gusti, for that specific evaluation. I'm sure Toastmaster Janet will learn from your feedback. And last but not least, we have a special evaluator tonight because Toastmaster Amelia will be evaluating Toastmaster Michael. This is part of his project, Level 1 Project 2C, evaluating the speech evaluator. So please welcome to the stage Toastmaster Amelia Ratna.
Thank you so much, Madam GE. Toastmaster Michael, congratulations on finishing the level 1 project 2. And after I heard your evaluation, I believe that Toastmaster Nadia's speech will reach the next level and she will become a better speaker later. Actually, I like to think from your speech. The first is how you mentioned about what Toastmaster Nadia excel, about how she checked the audio, and also how about the topic. And the second one, which I like, is about the detail of your evaluation. Is quite easy to apply. So I think the speaker could use it right away on their next speech. Well, I have to think that could improve your speech, your evaluation. So the first one is rather than saying, when I heard your deliver the evaluation, you're saying that you are great at this thing, and you said however. So when you're delivering evaluation, I suggest that not use the word however or but, because it's like you are making their heart or their heart height, and after that you take it down. So maybe you could just say, to improve your speech, you could do this. Or my suggestion is to do this. Okay, and the second, to make it better, is to conclude also your evaluation at the end. So what Master Nadia challenge session at the end, because sometimes, yeah, if you are interested with doing the speech and the evaluation contest, the conclusion is also will make point on the contest. They will give you a score. And to challenge yourself, I would suggest, beside giving a suggestion about delivering the speech, how to deliver, maybe you could also giving a suggestion about the structure itself. So how you connect Toastmaster Nadia's speech, like when first she said about a dream and connect it with Toastmaster. And yeah, that's one of the example. Maybe for next time you can try also about the structure, because for making great speech, not only the delivery but also the structure. So in conclusion, it was very, very great evaluation. First, what I like, how you point out what Toastmaster Nadia excel at, and also it's very detailed. And tell yourself, you could also give a structure, give evaluation about the structure. Thank you so much. Back to Natalie.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia, for that insightful evaluation. I'm pretty sure not only Toastmaster Michael, but every one of us here can learn a little bit from your sharing tonight. So for the sake of the time, I would like to ask our timer, Toastmaster Fridolin, to just post the timer report on the chat. Thank you, Toastmaster Fridolin. And I would like to move on to my next team member, the technical role player. The first one is the accounter, Toastmaster Andrian Wu, to deliver his report. Please welcome Toastmaster Andrian.
Okay, thank you, Dee. At first, I was thinking, why am I here? Four of them prepare sticks really do their sticks well. Unless Nadia contribute 6 hours, and the rest of them, Louisa, Abdul, Quayum, and Janet, doesn't say any non-lexical filler word. Congratulations. So let's move on to table topic. We have Elias, participated as always. He also doesn't say any non-lexical filler words. Now Kevin also not said any non-lexical words. We move on to Eva. Eva said one 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 R. And then Susin, right? Susin, right? Susin said two one and four R's. That's it from table topics. And from Evaluator section, we have Toastmaster Michael. Toastmaster Michael doesn't contribute any non-lexical filler words. Also, Toastmaster Tipping doesn't contribute any non-lexical words. I don't have any non-lexical filler words from her. And Toastmaster Yosef, one three R's, and one repeated word, and blah 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 and blah 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 and yeah. And then Toastmaster TSDC, two R's, one R. And last but not least, Toastmaster Amelie, four R and four R's. Only also one repeated word. How about how about? That's all for me. Thank you, G. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andrian. Now, I would like to ask, yes, thank you, Toastmaster Fridolin. Evaluation, Toastmaster Michael. Okay, so unfortunately, Toastmaster Gusti is not eligible to be voted on. So, ballot counter, Toastmaster Alfia, I will give you some time to prepare the Menti, and then we'll go on with the Marian report first from Toastmaster Angela. So please welcome Toastmaster Angela.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I would just like to pin the timer. Where is the timer? Or can you pin the timer for me? Ah, excellent. Super duper. I'm now going to share my screen if that's possible. I'm clicking on share. Let me know if you can see it. Yes, good. Right, my grammarian's report for Empire Toastmasters Club. Great use of words. What did I like the most? I liked your use of the word of the day, but to save time, I'm going to go on and talk about alliteration, which was very good. I heard Janet say a special session, and the G's said ready to roll. I liked Louisa's use of the word coherently. Collective nouns. Now I'm going to go on to some suggestions for you. I heard somebody say technology. You can have technologies, but mostly we use it as a collective noun and we talk about technology in general. Now, singulars and plurals, we usually talk about a pandemic. You can't have pandemics, but normally we talk about during a pandemic because we're talking about the current one. Normally we would say one of my members, not one of my member, one of my members, because there are many of them. We're talking about one of my members, one of the whole group. Now, groups are collective noun, but members, you have to count them. Interestingly, you talk about a pair of scissors and many pairs of scissors. Now you say it's a small thing. A in languages such as French is the same as one. They say un homme, meaning a man or one man. But in English, we've shortened one to an or a. So one person is a man or a woman, but many would be many people. Whereas if you're referring back to someone you mentioned before, then you would talk about the. So for example, we have a Toastmaster, one Toastmaster. We have Toastmasters, several. You add an S on the end. But where is the president? We've got only one, and he is the important one. That's when you use the. Now let's move on to pronunciation. Please note, color is spelled with an O, but it's not collar. Collar is what is around my neck. Color, when we have all the colors, they're called color. Another thing that causes confusion for some people is diary, not dairy, but diary, and you pronounce it as diary, as if it's 3 syllables, not diary or dairy, it's diary. 55, make sure you're not saying 55. It's been changed from 55, which it could have been 2 centuries ago, and it's now 55. We say it very fast. We don't say 55, we say 55. Ladies, it's not anything else except it's not laddies, it's ladies. Make sure you're saying she when you're talking about a woman, not see. I see that she is here. Now, support is not the same as sport. We support our sports team. And a table is not a table or a tablet, it's a table. So there are my suggestions for pronunciation. Now, a few phrases you might find useful. You don't give an applause, you give a round of applause, or you applaud. You don't say, even I do this, but even if I do this. Now, satisfy, you satisfy others, you satisfy yourself, but you are satisfied with something. And I will finish with, not for the closing, but in conclusion. I thought you had wonderful use of language, alliteration, and you connected with each other beautifully. I will now connect up with the Toastmaster of the day or the GE, whoever I can connect with. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Angela, for that wonderful and comprehensive grammarian report. You really covered from different angles, and I'm pretty sure we all can learn new things, even like the alliteration, like spatial stage, things like that. It's a tiny thing, but we can use it easily to immediately improve our presentation. So right now, I would like to ask you all to to pay attention to the chat box. Our ballot counter, Toastmaster Alfia, has shared the link for the favorite evaluator. So if you haven't voted, please vote. And later on, the president and the Toastmaster of the meeting will deliver the award for the favorite speakers. So for now, let me do my general evaluation report. First of all, thank you, Empire Toastmaster Club, for inviting me to be your GE for tonight's meeting. It's an honor. It's been quite, I think, few months since I last visited Empire. So it was always good to be back and see some familiar faces. I like the whole crowd in this place. I noticed we started off with 30 something, and after 2.5 hours, we're still at 28. So it's pretty good audience number, in my opinion. And in general, the meeting progressed smoothly, didn't have major hiccups and stuff. So let me go through one at a time for each role taker. First one is Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Miftah. I love how you explain everything very clearly, leading each session smoothly. There was just one little hiccup for you to skip the testimonial, but I totally understand that because this is a long session. So a minor mistake might happen and it's totally fine, but I love how you lead the whole session with smile and friendly vibe. Just another tips also, when you ask question to the audience, and this is also for your speech or anything, if no one give any response in like 3 seconds, just mention one name from the audience that has the video on. That will help you to get some feedback quickly, and you don't waste time, like, having a blank moment, right? So just let's say, what do you think, Toastmaster Kevin? So you get the response right away. That's it. And for my team, the GE team, Toastmaster Fridolin, well done on paying close attention on, the timing light. I notice sometimes when we are doing role as timer, we sometimes forget. Did that wonderfully today. You were on point. You're really focused. My suggestion for you to take your timer role to the next level is to post the timing report in the chat. Just so if people miss out on something, they can see, oh, so this is how I spend time. But overall, great job. For counter, Toastmaster Andrian, great listening skill, noticing different nuances in the speech. You mentioned lexical and non-lexical. I would suggest to you one thing, which I think will help you also in your future speeches, is to improve your audio quality by a better headset, or maybe try the sound beforehand, before the meeting, because even if you have so many different things that is insightful for the audience, but if we cannot really hear it clearly, then there will be some points that miss in the wire, transmitted in the wire. Toastmaster Angela, wonderful, comprehensive grammar report. And I particularly love how you demonstrated, because demonstration is a great way for us to learn, especially learning language. And have anything to add for you, Toastmaster Angela? Keep up the great work, and thank you for sharing and supporting this club. For ballot counter, Arfia, also wonderful use of Menti. I think this is the first time I saw it, and I think it's very smart actually. So well done, Toastmaster Alfia, for doing that little things. It makes it easier for people to vote, and you launch it after its session immediately, so it's still fresh on our mind. So thank you for doing that, and you can announce the result after. For table topic master, Toastmaster Amelia Fabriani, I love how friendly you are, how encouraging, and love the prepared questions, because the slides and everything looks very nice, also related to the topic. My suggestion for you, just for a certain quote that might seem a little bit hard to digest, always have on the back of your mind a way to simplify that quote or that question, just so when people read it for the first time, they're like, I don't really understand. Then you can immediately say, this is also means like this. I mean, you did that, but I think having a simpler question for certain quote, maybe that will work better for the audience, because the purpose of table topic is for people to try speak in front of public. So it's more like trying to, train their impromptu speech skill. So well done, Toastmaster Amelia. For all the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Elias, Toastmaster Kevin, Toastmaster Evangeline, and Toastmaster Sui Sin, I commend all of your wonderful courage and also a presentation. For Toastmaster Elias, I noticed your stage presence through the vocal projection. Toastmaster Kevin, I love your analogy, the push, pull, and squat. Toastmaster Evangeline, great courage to share your story. And Toastmaster Sui Sin, learn to say no is also an art. And I love your conviction when you say that too. My suggestion for table topic in general is, if you're stuck and you don't really know what to say, remember there are several ways to handle table topic questions. The simplest one is prep. So you make a point, you give the reason, you give the explanation and examples. This could be a personal story. This could be some, data, facts, or something that you learned recently, and then you wrap up your point again. So that could be one way to kind of like tuning in your brain into the topic in just like 3 seconds. Of course, this takes practice. And even I am still learning, because table topic is also one of my biggest fear. Last but not least is our evaluators. And I would like to give a special commendation for all our prepared speech evaluators tonight, because all of them did wonderful and insightful jobs. So can we give them another round of applause, please? Thanks. Means starting with something good, supplemented with point of improvement, and then closing with some encouraging remarks. Another thing that they did well, all these 5 evaluators, they demonstrated the recommendation. And I think this is a great way to learn, not just telling them this is what you need to do, but also tell them how they can make it better. So demonstration is always great. And the third thing that all prepared speech evaluator did well tonight is they do it with an encouraging and positive way. The evaluation felt motivating and not judgmental. So I love, all 5 speech evaluator tonight. I would like to give you 1 point to follow up what Toastmaster Amelia has mentioned in her evaluation on Toastmaster Michael, not just for Toastmaster Michael, but also for all of us. Regarding the use of positive language in evaluation, it is very much recommended. Of course, this is not easy because when I first started, I use a lot of however, I use a lot of but. It's just easier to say, See, this is how I want to say but. And I believe that we can make it better if we incorporate positive language in our evaluation. So what Toastmaster Amelia mentioned earlier was that, for example, you have set up a positive premise by saying, this is great, this is awesome, this is wonderful, but it really negates the impact that you have built up. So it's like making a pizza, you throw the dough up and then you bring the dough down. My suggestion is try to write down some phrases that can help you to bridge between the positive and then the improvement, and just have it as on the back of your mind. For example, I would like you to consider this. Toastmaster blah, blah, blah. I think it will be more engaging if you blah, blah, blah. I believe when you apply this, it will be blah, blah, blah. So instead of saying, yes, this is this, however, I think this is better. So you just kind of like tweak the order of words a little bit and also change the words a little bit. It still have the same content or meaning, but the impact and the feeling is different. So this is something that I really touch because this is quite intermediate to advanced evaluation, but I think all the prepared speech evaluators did a wonderful job today, and this is just a tiny little bit that can push up your evaluation to the next level. My suggestion for the overall meeting, just one thing, or actually 2. The first one is icebreaker. When we have people finishing icebreaker, in the old Toastmaster custom, we usually, in online, it's a little bit hard to do, but my suggestion is if there are people who do icebreaker speech, maybe it's good to unmute and just clap. So the new member felt more appreciated and felt more encouraged to go on. And for that, I would like you all to unmute and give a round of applause for Toastmaster Nadia and also Toastmaster Luisa, who have finished their icebreakers today. Congratulations, Toastmaster Nadia and Toastmaster Luisa.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yes, keep going, keep going.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Now, my second suggestion is related to the timing. I noticed that we are very much over time, and I'm a bit particular with timing. When we entered the evaluation session, we already 30 minutes behind the time. So my suggestion is this. You can consider it because this is just like suggestion. Meeting, you have the humor master, you have the education presentation, you have prepared agenda so that the audience know it's gonna be more than 2.5 hours. Because logically speaking, you can't really do it in a short amount of time. Number 2, the timing for edu session, I notice is only 20 minutes. If you have you have exerted effort to invite big figure coming in, for them to share only 20 minutes, it's just I think it's a little bit too short. As long as you can have like a longer question and answer, maybe 20 minutes presentation and then 10 minutes question and answer, that could be probably more reasonable amount, which is what actually happened today. So 20 minutes, and then I think it's 10 to 15 minutes question and answer. just adjust the agenda. Or my suggestion, other suggestion is if you still want to keep it 2 hours, when you have a long edu session, cut out some parts. So for example, have like 2 prepared speech or cut off the table topic session and humor session at all. So it's either you adjust the time or you adjust the overall. It was a wonderful meeting and thank you for having all of us. And yeah, keep going, Empire. Back to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Miftah.
Thank you so much for your constructive feedback, and we'll do in the near future meeting. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. Now we will have a wording session, appreciation session for today's meeting. Now I will call upon Toastmaster Fridolin to give some reward for today's meeting. No. Toastmaster Alfia and Toastmaster Fridolin for what is that? The share the moment. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Alfia, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Tom. Now at the time, I will announce our today's winner for each categories. First category is a favorite prepared speaker. So the winner of favorite speaker is Toastmaster Janet. Give applause for Toastmaster Janet. Congratulations. And the next winner, wait a minute. And the next winner for categories favorite evaluator congratulations to Master Titin. And the last category is stable favorite speaker is Toastmaster Shuesin. Congratulations for all the winner. And the SEE Toastmaster Fridolin, could you help us to take a photos of every winner? So the first winner is Toastmaster Janet. Is it done? Toastmaster Fridolin?
Okay. Next.
Next winner is our favorite Could you move the certificate to another favorite speaker?
Next.
Your screen is not moved to another image in my screen. It's still Miss Toastmaster Janet. Is it same with others or only my screen?
Yeah, it's still Toastmaster Janet's name.
Yeah, it's still on Toastmaster Janet.
Maybe you can stop sharing and reshare it again.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, the next winner is Titin, Toastmaster Titin as our best evaluator. Let me know when is there. Toastmaster Fidelin. Okay, the last favorite speaker. Toastmaster Shuesin as our best table topic speaker.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you and congratulations for all the winner. Back to Tom.
Okay, thank you so much. And congratulations to all winners. You did a great job. Thank you so much. And now we will have a closing remarks from our president, Toastmaster Janet. Toastmaster Janet, are you there? Toastmaster Janet, are you there?
Paleruma.
What? Who's speaking? Toastmaster Janet. Okay, if there's no one, I will.
She is here.
Hello.
She is here.
I was
Okay.
at the toilet just now.
Okay, no worries. Okay, I will call Toastmaster Janet to give a closing remark. Toastmaster Janet, Toastmaster Janet.
All right, sorry guys for the inconvenience. I just went to the toilet. But I guess the others weren't aware of that. It's fine. Okay, guys, thank you all for coming to this meeting. And as part of the closing remarks, I actually would like to share some more short testimonials actually from other Toastmasters that has visited us. And they actually range from all the way to Japan and also from other Toastmasters club around Indonesia. So let me share my screen. So our first testimonial comes from TM Sharia Kasar, who is from ICF Chiba Toastmasters Japan. And she said that our meeting was wonderful because everyone was so energetic, everyone was fluent in English, and also very cool by the mind. And she also mentioned that the speakers were great, humorous, and informative. And she loved the educational speech at the time. And then from Medan Miracle Pirado Club, Toastmasters Patrick Wong IP4, he said that our educational speaker at the time was massive and he loves, and that's exactly why he loves to attend Empire. And Empire always inspires him with quality meetings. And last but not least, we have the president of Essential Toastmasters Club, which is TM Reza Mardian. And he says that we always craft our educational sessions very well. So even though all of the testimonials are about our educational sessions, we make sure to not disappoint you with our other sessions as our prepared speaker sessions and also our evaluation session and also our table topic session so that we can make sure all of you guys will learn a lot from Toastmasters meetings. And last but not least, actually, I also would love to inform you guys that this is definitely not going to be our last meeting. And we do have another meeting brewing up for you guys. So if you guys want to join our next meeting with the theme, Be a Good Teacher or Not at All. Whoa, very nice title. On the 2nd of November 2021, also on a Tuesday at the same time, and using the same Zoom link, you can see Dr. Anton Wardaya from the Wardaya College, and he's the chairman there. You want to see him deliver an educational session and see some of us do a prepared speech and evaluate and have maybe another table topic session with you. You guys can always come to this meeting. You can hit up any one of us who has the info, maybe the exco precisely, and you will be signing up for our next meeting. So before I close, I don't know how many times I said that there's always so many things to share with you guys. If you guys are interested to becoming a member in Empire Toastmasters Club, make sure to hit up our Vice President of Membership, which is Michael Iskandar. He will try and help you guys with all like everything regarding membership registration. He'll be very happy to help you guys. And we will also be happy with having you guys in our family and watch you grow from someone who just started out with their icebreaking speech and maybe even become an area director, a TTM one day. So yes, looking forward to seeing you guys becoming a member. And if you're still not sure, just come as a guest. It's fine. We'll be happy to see you guys as well, not just the members. So that is all from me. Thank you guys for coming. And I'll be bringing the control back to Tom.
Tom, Mifta.
Is it the end of our session and we must close by Toastmaster Janet? Is it? Or
Yes, I thought you had something else to say.
oh no,
All right. So I will be officially adjourning this meeting. I don't have a gavel yet, so I'll just take something random from my table. Okay, duck duck, and the meeting is officially adjourned, guys. Enjoy your afternoon. Wait, no, I'm not afternoon. It's
I'm so
almost
sorry.
10.
I'm so sorry.
It's almost 10. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, see you guys next
See you,
time.
everyone.